Okay, we're gonna start. I think today you're probably the only one because it's coming to Chinese New Year, and this next week on Tuesday, no, on Wednesday is a holiday. Yeah, Monday, Wednesday is a holiday. Okay, anyway, if you do have lessons that are fall on the holiday, you might want to check with the center to see when is your replacement lesson. Okay, but if you don't, let's continue as per normal. So last week we did talk about your first chapter. Just wondering this week, has your teacher started on any chapters yet? Let me close the door. Have your teacher started? Have your teacher started lesson? Should be, right?
So like 5:24 already.
What?
The time is 5:24.
No, I didn't ask about the time. I asked whether has your teacher started your lesson in school.
Oh, it started already. Started 2
Okay.
weeks ago.
Okay, so can you roughly tell me something that you have learned from your teacher first, so that today I will go through and at least I will know what you know. What do you remember from what your teacher taught you?
They don't really start like the lesson itself. We only like write some things, but the actual science things already started. But the things like this all haven't started yet.
So you mean so they basically didn't start teaching. They just, is that what
Yeah,
you mean?
yeah. They just like get into like the basics of science.
Okay. Basis of like, okay. Anyway, I am going to share with you some of my notes from the first chapter just to recap of what you have learned. Okay, so let me share the screen first. Yeah. Um, okay, last week I did share with you. Let's start with this one. Just to recap your memory. Oops. Oh, this is annoying to change. Sorry, I'm still, it's quite not, it's just take some time to keep changing the screen and okay, I'm gonna share with you this. Uh, just so you can see. Can you see my notes? Yes?
Yeah, yes, I can see.
Okay. Last lesson, we did talk about your living and non-living things for your first lesson. So basically in P3 science, you'll be introduced to these few living, these basically on Earth, what are the things that are surrounding us and how do we differentiate them between whether they are alive or not alive. Just to recap your memory, non-living things are those that are not alive. They basically do not grow. They don't die as well because they are not alive. And they don't need air, food, and water to survive. Now you can, if you're fast enough, you can copy down your notes in your personalized notebook. But if not, the video is recorded so you can play back and then watch at the end of it. Okay. So just make sure that you have these pointers in your notebook to refer. They don't need air, food, and water to survive. They can't move on their own and they may be once alive. Now, like I said, non-living things are not alive, but they may be once alive. Why is that so? For example, your wood. Okay, wood comes from trees, right? And trees are once alive until we chop them down. Okay, so men are the one that makes furniture, that makes wood or chop wood or obtain wood from the trees. Trees are once alive. Once we chop them down, they will die. They basically die. Okay, so one example is wood. The next few known examples, you have ceramics. The ceramics are basically a mixture of materials that will form somewhat like a little cement clay that will start to harden when you mold them into a shape and leave them to dry and they will harden. Okay, now ceramic is one example. The picture there is actually a ceramic. Okay, they used to make pots, vase, those whatever China products, the cookery items, equipments that they use to cook food or to mold it into a teapot or cups. okay, mugs and teapots and cups to actually they've been using it for thousands of years. They use ceramics to actually make all these pots and pans. Okay, not pans, but pots to cook food. All right. So you got plastics also. Plastics is basically man-made material. So they actually use this material to make into various different items that one example is umbrella. Okay, you got umbrella plastics to actually help us to protect us from rain. It's waterproof. All right, or you have plastics to make into plastic bags to basically we use it a lot in our grocery shopping, which to be honest, I don't think it's environment friendly because they can't be broken down. And once people use it, they usually chuck it away, and somehow disposal will kind of cause pollution on earth as well. Okay, if they dispose incorrectly. All right, hold on. Sorry, I'm still having a cold. Give me a sec. Okay, so you've got other examples of materials. You've got cotton, metal. You know what's cotton, right? We have used cotton for our bed sheet. We wear cotton clothes as well. And we do use cotton wools and basically cotton this material to actually stuff up our soft toys. Yeah, if you have soft toy, if you dig it inside, you actually see that's all made of cotton. All right, and of course you got metal, you got rubber, you got glass, and you got wood. All right, in case you don't know, glass is made of sand. All right, so they are actually use all these materials. They compile the glass, and they actually they compile all the sand to actually make the glass. So that's how you can actually get. Now the example picture here is wool. All right, it's a different form of fabric that we also use to make clothes to keep us warm. All right, if you compare, cotton will be much more cooling. Wool will be a thicker material to keep us warm. And of course, you've got, I'm not sure. I think wool, usually people here love to wear a lot of cashmere, another kind of material, especially in winter countries. All right, it's much more thicker, but they are not that thick. As in the material keeps you warm, but they're not that thick. Okay, I don't mean by thicker. The thickness can be adjusted by men, but it's the material whether or not it's keep you warm. It's just like a sheep fur. It's able to keep a very cold winter. It is able to withstand and insulate a human from I think let's say in Russia, the coldest place, all right, China, Russia and China, usually they wear a lot of wool, I'm not sure about cashmere, but they use a lot of wool, very thick wool to actually make their winter coats. So I guess wool so far I know is somehow the best material, but they're not as comfortable. Yeah. Okay, let's go on to living things. Last week, I did introduce this, but this week today, we are going to go very in-depth into the different categories. So we learned about animals. We learned about plants. There are different groups. Okay, these two main groups are the ones we see every day. Animals, you got vertebrates and invertebrates. What are vertebrates? Vertebrates consist of the 5 main groups: amphibians, fishes, reptiles, birds, and mammals. Do you know what the amphibian word refers to? I don't know why is it this color.
No.
Can you give me one example of amphibian if you know what is amphibian? Do you know?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay, amphibian, I think if I'm sharing screen, since I'm sharing screen, I think you should be able to see my screen, right? You can see my screen, right? So basically, I'm going to show you what's amphibian on the Google. That's easier for you since I'm Googling. Can you see my picture now? Amphibians are basically frogs. These animals, frogs, toads, they are classified under amphibians. And what are they? They usually have 4 legs. Okay, they are vertebrates. Basically means that they do have a bone structure, but these bone structure are found inside them, and they're cold-blooded. They can live on land and also live in water, which means they can swim. Okay, so for one example, amphibians, they can actually swim. All right, just to show you a more classified, a more details. So basically, one example, frogs. Okay, if we talk about frogs, they have 4 different lives, the 4 stages of life cycle. One example is frog. Another example would be salamanders. Very common example, they will ask you to name. Okay, salamanders is like a little bit like lizard, but they do have a tail. They do have legs as well at the back. They look like a land lizard, but they can actually swim in water. They can live in water and also come on land. So basically, their body is always wet. Okay, and they do have 4 stages. Sorry, not 4 stages. 3 stages. Basically, they goes from tadpole. I think, sorry, your life cycle. They go from eggs first, and then they go to their tadpole. Once they reach the tadpole, they will slowly grow into frog. Sorry, 3 stages. Okay, so when you see this life cycle, the frogs, toads, and salamander. Toad is a bigger version of frog, and they're much uglier. I feel that toad has got more darker, lumpier skin texture. I accidentally touched a toad before. I don't know why I did that. I think I was young, I don't know. But I also touched a frog as well. Frog, they're cuter, they're smaller. And also another thing, if you have toads and frog that are really small, oh my, I don't know what happened to my screen.
The screen is glitching.
I know. I might have to ask my husband to check later because I don't know so much about computer.
When I had like my math class for idiotician, one of my friend had that same issue as well. But now he got it like fixed.
Did you ask him what happened?
Yeah, we were like all of my teacher and me were like on the top. Then we'll see. Then my teacher said to like off the screen because might be distracting.
Off the screen?
Yeah.
You mean what screen? As in the video?
Yeah, the video. My teacher said that
Wow,
because like then will be like distracting. There's like a lot of students there.
oh. Well, I can't really off because I'm the main teacher and you'll have to see me. But anyway, it's only for a while. I think it's fine. Okay. But let me just fix. Okay, I think no need. I thought I was connecting. Okay. Basically, I was saying that now when I say toads and frogs, if they are really tiny, please do not go and touch them. They might be harmless, but you don't know there are also some frogs and toads that are very poisonous, especially when they are very bright in color. Okay, and when they are very bright and small, the smaller it is, the brighter color it is the very poisonous. Okay, so I will show you one example of poisonous toads and frogs. Okay, so let me just key in this. So the smaller and brightest color it is, please do not touch them because they can actually emit out or spit out a kind of poison from their mouth. And we don't know, the poison actually contains in their glands. So we don't know, so far nobody has been poisoned. No humans have died from frog poison, but because usually they are the ones that run away first, they'll hop away first. Okay, so the very common ones are your golden poison frog, right, which is very bright in color. Usually it's like yellowish golden. Okay, and then also another one is your poison dart, which is very nice, like bluish color with a polka dot. And one time I did see a red, but I don't know what kind of frog. They have their own names. They are probably have their own species names, but I don't really know.
Red ones might be also like same as the golden poison frog and the poison
Yes.
dart frog is the same.
Usually the red, the green